Hi, my name's Dana Citron, and I'm the Vice President of Marketing for Orbital Fire Cybersecurity, and I'm so happy to be your host today for the Women Leaders in Manufacturing podcast. This is sponsored by LIMAP, Long Island Manufacturing Extension Partnership, their Executive Director, Amy Erickson, who you're going to have the pleasure of hearing from in a future episode. Today, we're here at Stony Brook University within the Office of Research and Innovation, and I can't wait for you to meet our guest today. This is Kaycee Martimucci. She is the president of Nassau Chromium Plating. Kaycee, it's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it is a pleasure.
Thank you.
So we had the pleasure previously to be on some panels,
Yes.
and I'm so happy to be able to talk to you again today.
Yes, thank you. No, I'm excited as well.
That's good. Well, Kaycee, before we get started, can you just tell us a little bit about Nassau Chromium Plating?
Yes, so Nassau Chromium Plating we are a metal finishing company that has been around since 1929. I am the third generation owner. It's a women-owned business. I'm very proud of that. And we're here on Long Island. We just actually, since we branded and enlarged our company, we have now have a second site about 10 minutes away. It's called NCP International. So not only do we do metal finishing for military, aerospace, machine shops, everything of that nature, we also handle car restoration, family heirlooms, anything like that. We are one of the only chrome platers really left around the East Coast. There's not too many of us left around. And we built on that and started to introduce non-destructive testing and a few other technologies.
That's really exciting. So you have a lot of exciting growth going on right now.
We really do, yes.
That's great. And I look forward to hearing more about that. And I love that you're a third generation owner of this company. I know we've talked about that a little bit before. Can you tell me just a little bit about that background? I know it's a generation, several generations of women. And what was that transition like for you?
So my great-grandfather started the company in 1929. Mm-hmm. He actually worked for a plating house and he kind of felt if we could do it. We started in his 70s with a small shop, and he would sell plating and polishing for his utilities and other things of that nature. And it grew. At the time, my grandmother, Shirley Waring, she actually worked at Grumman. And he told her that she had to get another job first. And then he handed it to her, and I think there's like $3,000 in the bank. And he said, "Listen, this is yours, and make a go at it." And she just did it. Really, she did. And she built it up as well. For many, many, many years, she was a pillar in the aerospace community, cleaning, and really worked up until she was 96 years old. Wow. Yeah, we worked together for over 20 years in the office setting together. We were very, very close. And she gifted me the business, which was really a beautiful thing to carry it on and legacy of it. So that happened in 2020, and here we are now.
It's great. So that must really carry just so much meaning for you, more than anything else, especially with so much care in connection with your grandmother.
It does. It definitely does. We were very, very close. I definitely miss her. She was, really a sounding board at times. Sure. But no, it was. I took it over in my 30s, which was, interesting and different at the time. I had young kids, and I just balancing, right? The pride of the business, making sure that we kept that legacy going, and the pressure of it as well. Just starting out, trying to find my footing and understand, how I could keep it going and keep the longevity of it. But I feel like over time, over the past few years, I've definitely found my way. I always had something in the background that I wanted to keep going with, and I found like I have the ability to do that. And bringing in the second company and those technologies and building it is real exciting at this point. So.
Well, I know that you thought this was once just a summer job for you. What switched for you to really make this your career?
So yeah, I started in the business. I started back probably when I was 11 or 12 years old. And I remember started back in the shop, and that was what over the summers, and my dad would bring me in at 6 o'clock in the morning, and you rack, you wire, I did plating, I did masking, I did all of it. And I really liked it. I liked the people that I worked with. I love the employees. It was enjoyable. They were good-hearted people, and I saw the pride that they took in the work that they did. And it was just a fast-moving pace to it. I really did enjoy it. From there, I went to college. I graduated with a degree in criminal justice and sociology, and I was living in New Jersey. And I remember my grandmother just said, Kaycee, why don't you just come back, try it for a year and see what you think. And I did, and I wound up more in the office at that point. And I started learning financials and purchasing and contract review and all that. And the days went by quickly, and I was learning a lot. And I kind of got the ability to just grow in the position I wanted to. She didn't really give me, any area where I was like, you have to do this. She wanted me to learn all of it, and I respected that. So I realized at one point this could be something that's long term.
It's just so great. And it sounds like she saw something in you to make sure that you saw all aspects of the business. So she knew before you did. It sounds like.
I think she did, but she didn't. I'm not. I think that over time, we started to really get an understanding for each other. We agreed to disagree on times, of course, right? But we also found a footing together, and we had this respect for each other. And almost like an old school approach that I really respected. So we just worked well. We each were so strong in what we did. And that includes my father and my husband as well. Each of us have our own area of expertise, and we bring it together, and that's why we manage so well. There's no stepping on people's toes. We just manage as a team beautifully. So it works very well.
Well, I know your shop works with everyone from Lockheed to airline restorers. How do you balance that aerospace grade rigor with that artisanal pride?
So that part actually I found relatively easy. Working with companies like Lockheed Martin, right? There's really no room for error. The technology has to be there, the understanding has to be there, the repeatability has to be there. So we take that very serious. And the way that we manage the family heirlooms power restoration is basically the same way. It allows us to bring the technology behind it while also bringing the aesthetic pride to all of our pieces. So in a way, it works even better because in the aerospace world, sometimes, things are just used for purposes other than aesthetic or engineering and utilization. But we make them look beautiful. And that's one thing that I think sets our company apart is that we always deliver beautiful work on top of it, just meeting the qualifications it needs. And aesthetically, it's the same thing. And it's enjoyable. When you have a customer walk in the door and he's restoring like his father's car or something that happened and he opens the box, wow, this is beautiful. Like that's a great feeling all the time. So for us, that's easy.
So with your new business, do you work with more consumers or do you still work with businesses?
So with the new business, it's a little bit of both. So we like to brand it the same way. Nassau is like that in a sense. It is a job shop where we work with military, aerospace, we work with commercial, and we work with the community. And we hope NCPs will be the same. It will be a little bit more aerospace because we have the tank size and the capability to do non-destructive testing at this point. But we also are getting into distribution as well. And we have 24-foot paint booths. So you can basically put a car in there and paint it if you want to. So the powder coating aspect, the painting, that's something that we're also going to do on site and bring that technology in as well. So it's a little bit of everything. We explore every avenue. And if there's a need for it, we're going to set it up.
And it's fun to be able to work with both sides.
It is. It makes it really interesting. I mean, we've done some crazy projects. I mean, we do family heirlooms for people that, find something after 2-3 years of a parent passing away, and you restore that, bring that back to life. We do the bells and the fire trucks on Long Island. We do all the church memorabilia as well. We do the police plaques and guns. We've done an MTV Movie Award and Grammy invitations, like crazy things. So keeps it interesting.
I'm sure it does. Yeah. Well, throughout this, you've always been outspoken and advocating for young women in skilled trades. What do you think? What still needs to be done?
So I feel like there's a lot of progress that has happened for women in skilled trades, but we still really need to find more accessibility and make it more inclusive for women. I feel like that's missing at times. The public perception of a trade needs to also be modified a little bit. Trade positions are considered macho or for men and not so much for women in careers, and that needs to be updated and looked at in a much different light. In addition, the programs and recruiting of women need to also be fixed a little bit as well.
Can you talk a little bit about that piece of it?
So another significant thing that I noticed is the workplace culture. At times can be somewhat unwelcoming to women or intimidating to women, and in a sense where maybe they can't hack it or they might get swallowed up alive, and that's the persona that's put out there. Sometimes they're not really given the accessibility to understand how many different positions can be done. Also, there's not a lot of women in it where they're spokespeople for understanding this. So, like what we're doing right now, bringing on women that are involved in it, I think is the first way to highlight it and get it out there. People don't speak about it. So just bringing it to light is going to make a massive difference to start.
I love that. And I agree 100%, is that having someone see you in this and know that this is an opportunity and this is possible and this is a place where I can really belong.
Absolutely.
Is really important.
Yes. And there's a lot of technologies in these fields. You don't just have to go for plating. There's a lot of contract review and engineering and lab technicians and inspection and quality. There's so many areas to grow. And I just think that they're not spoken about enough in schools or even in the high schools, and everyone, oh, you have to be a teacher, you have to be a doctor, you have to be a pharmacist, you have to, it's so one-sided.
Or even in it, we're talking about aerospace and defense, even an engineer, right?
Yes,
we're
100%. You have to be an engineer. You have to come out and learn design. You have to come out and work for a big corporation and understand the builds and stuff. There's so many great paying jobs along the line of that. You just have to kind of make their way down that and understand it.
Yeah, no, I think that makes a lot of sense. And I was going to ask you, how can we involve more women to show interest? And I think, this is part of it, right? In the schools, I know you've shared with me in the past that, especially with the plating, that used to be something that was taught at BOCES or in schools and taught in terms of a type of a skill trade, and it's not anymore. Why do you think that is? And how do we get that back, those types of skills?
So, because I feel at the time that was happening, plating schools, learning about chemistry, learning about anode to cathode ratios, learning about how all this works was something that might have been a diverse field at that time. And it's still such an important market. It's a niche market. It's never going to go anywhere. We're always going to need resources for military, for coding applications, for electronics, especially now semiconductors coming out and submarines and drone projects, warfare, nuclear fabrication. There's so much of it and people just are unaware of it. So I feel like because when Grumman moved out, it was, we can venture into other fields and move away from trade, that they closed these positions up, which is really a shame. And I do feel that girls and women need to kind of be exposed to these interests early on. Hands-on learning in school is massive. They should bring shop classes and project-based STEM classes and make sure that there are girls that also attend them and that they want to qualify. Create mentorships is huge. Bring girls together with women that are already senior in the field and let them be exposed to what it is and what the days look like and how the job looks like and have them have an understanding and a feeling for it. And offering support clubs in schools, networking, STEM for girls, girls in trades. Create programs out there that they can utilize and use their hands and learn and just learn from it. I think that they would really find it interesting and move forward in those fields.
Yeah, I love that. And I really do believe that you're such a great model for women to look at and for anybody to be a great leader. But for sure, for young women that are thinking about this is possible in your grandmother, right? I think
she was a pillar in the community for this. So yeah, absolutely.
And so with that, how do you continue your family's legacy while putting your own stamp on the business?
So carrying the family legacy forward is something that's really very important to me. I take it really seriously. It's really about honoring the values of what was built on integrity, hard work, and really focusing on people. That's what I feel our values were built in, and driving that forward while also creating the next generation of growth within the business, how we can keep the sustainability going, how to keep the contracts coming, being a part of that, being a part of bringing in new prime companies, new prime customers, new projects that are exciting to build on. So that's our focus really, and keeping everything going for much longer.
That's exciting. And especially with this new business, you really expanded that so much, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what gives you the most pride when you walk on the shop floor today?
Definitely to start the energy of the floor. I love going on the shop floor. I love the energy. I love the hustle. I love the busyness of the shop floor. The craftsmanship is beautiful. I have some women that, let me tell you, the masking intricacy on these parts are incredible. And they sit there with this detail and they're amazing at their craft. It's beautiful. It could make, honestly, I look at it and it makes me tear up sometimes because I cannot believe like how well they can perform this. And the men too, they can break down a part and know the different metal components and understand the difference between white metal, and aluminum parts and steel parts and know how to work them. That's a craft. Not everyone can do that. You can screw up a part really fast,
Sure.
It's a big deal. Like it's not easy. Teamwork. So I feel like our company, we've had people with us for a very long time. We have new people coming in and we try to keep that family culture together. We build that internally. It's really important. We look out for each other. I have people that have been with me since 1985 and they are families. That's how we feel. And they continue the legacy. We work as a team. Teamwork is very important, especially when you work with family.
Yeah.
I worked with my grandmother, my grandfather, my father, my husband. It's, you have to learn how to work together and sometimes compromise and put, your thoughts aside to hear someone else's is not only one way to do something. And learning to grow with that for sure is a big part of it. And I feel like we do that really well. A lot of families can't work together.
I was going to say that. It's like I know countless, kind of examples. I think we all do where families, that's a very hard transition or balance to make. And it's so impressive that you're able to really have
I think because each family member is from such a different generation that it's almost a beautiful thing because they bring different values that I bring different values. And as long as we can respect each other's values and say, okay, this is how it was always done. And there's a reason why it was done well that way. But we can now integrate and bring something new as well that could maybe speed it up or look at it differently or increase the technology. And as long as we're all open to understanding that, but not come far from the values that created it, we're in a very good place.
What's your vision for the next decade of Nassau Chromium? I know that seems like a long 10 years, but in the history of your company, it seems like a drop.
I know, really. So my husband Mark and I are really excited that we have opened a second location, right? The facility is a little bit larger. It has larger quantities, larger capacity. We have incorporated some new technologies as well. So my vision for the next decade, I guess you could say, is to create more innovation, definitely workforce development, sustainability, and grow in the market. So I love metal finishing. It's where we started. It's the foundation of the business. It's something that we do really well. We do beautiful masking. We do beautiful restoration, all of that. But to also increase that and maybe make more of a closed loop system together on Long Island, we really want to drive that market with non-destructive testing, with painting, make it a one-stop shop and grow. My husband and I are still young, so we have the years to put into it. With Bell Helicopter just came down to Long Island, and it's a great opportunity for all of our businesses. And we will set up what is necessary for the next Black Hawk project or whatever is coming due. We're getting involved in distribution, which is very exciting. Kind of going from a level 3 to a level 1 tier. being more exposed to the crimes is a big one too. Working on Pearl Harbor projects and nuclear fabrication in wartime, it's very exciting. The growth is there. All these new contracts coming down from the government. We just want to have a part of that. So that's kind of what we see. Kind of bring our kids involved a little bit as well, see how we work, hopefully give them that same work ethic that I had growing up watching, my grandmother work, my dad work 7 days a week. There's a pride there, and I would like to expose them to that as well.
I get chills thinking about it. I have to say,
Thank you.
Just this, handing it down through the family. It's just very, impactful.
It is. It is
Exciting to
my
hear.
kids. They come to the shop all the time. Actually, they're actually a big part of it. They're great. I'm not gonna lie, they're really great. They've been exposed to. My son was with me the first year. I had him there the first year in the shop, napping and getting stuff done and going through NADCAP audits, and it's family, right? So you have to navigate it. It's what it is. And now they're 5 and 8, and they are more exposed. It's great. They come in, they know the people. They come in the back. They'll set up. They'll try masking and racking, and it's good. They're learning it. We just went through some audits to get the new business up and running, and they were incredible. They sat there through all those hours, and I remember my son said, "Mommy, if this audit doesn't happen, what does that mean?" I said, "Well, it just means that it's going to be really hard for us to get the business going." Oh, I hope that we do really well with it, and I think we did well. And they're exposed to that, they understand. So for me, that meant the world to me when I heard him say that, because he knows how hard we work. And there's the balance. You have to find a balance.
And that in itself, right?
Yeah.
It's just, I know we've talked about that and we won't get into it now, but just being able to instill that level of grit and,
Yes.
just understanding of hard work in kids is just really important.
It's massively important, and I just hope my kids see that. And my daughter, she loves to be in the office, and I hear her when she plays on the phone, and sometimes she mimics it. But it's good. It's good because it's all positive. It's all positive things that are happening. So it's like I said, it's a balance. It's probably the hardest challenge that I have coming into it with young kids, but make it happen. If you love what you do and you want to succeed, and you find a way. It's just part of life. You just keep moving.
I agree 100%. Kaycee, this is amazing. I could talk to you for a very long time.
Yes, I appreciate this. Thank you.
Oh, this is so fun. And I know that you and I are both members of ADAPT.
Yes, we are.
And I love ADAPT. They are a very important organization for aerospace and defense manufacturers in Long Island. And there's many other women like yourself that have similar experiences. And it seems like a great way to be able to come together, right?
No, they're fantastic. They have really helped to broaden the approach, give visibility to women in this arena, and really get out there. And they are very, very supportive. We're very grateful for ADAPT.
That's great. Well, thank you again so much. I
Thank
look
you.
forward
I
to talking
appreciate
to you again.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks.